Hello, we are here in Armenia at the Fastex Harmony Meetup. I am here with Joe Galloso, Security Documents Sales Manager at Authentix.
Yeah.
Joe, welcome. Great chatting with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So, Joe, you have a very interesting project you're involved with that
Yes.
kind of mashes up two things that are normally not close to one another at all. Cryptocurrencies and traditional banknotes.
Physical banknotes.
Normally, like sharks and the jets, there's far apart.
Yep.
Tell us about this project and what you're working to pull it off, how you're doing this.
So we were approached by Fastex with their vision of introducing a physical banknote to accompany their cryptocurrency. And we had a couple of meetings, and it was a very interesting project to get a part of. It's fantastic to see an innovative company such as Fastex looking at sort of the more, as you said, the more traditional side of a banknote. People for hundreds of years have always seen a physical banknote as something that they treasure, they keep, they want to have. So it is, as you said, it's building the bridge between the crypto, the intangible, and the what everyone's used to of having a physical banknote in their hand.
It's funny, I was just thinking as you'd mentioned that, how for so many years when Bitcoin is described in a news article, we all know what most publications have to show an image.
Yeah.
And they show what looks like a gold coin with the B.
Yeah.
I don't know Satoshi personally. I'm guessing he did not imagine a gold coin with a B, right? But we still visualize this. And
Absolutely.
to your point, Joe, I think there's a real kind of like hunger in us in a way to see a physical manifestation of these cryptocurrencies. So talk about what it takes. So, okay, so the basics are, it's actual printed out banknotes.
It is a full, proper banknote, complete with banknote grade security features. It is a full.
So you guys are going all the way. It's not like a little sheet of paper with like a little.
No. This has got full banknote intaglio printing, hologram.
Oh,
it's
wow.
got the whole lot.
So let's take this in two chunks. What can users do with these notes today? What's the use case and kind of how is it being used? And what's the vision for how that will look in the future, what you can do with these notes?
Yeah, so currently they are to be used as like a gift to be able to give to somebody, to collect. And one really interesting point of making it in the design and the feel of a physical banknote is nobody throws away money.
It's a very good point.
So you get given a voucher, or you get given a normal piece of paper with something on, you keep it, and then after a little while you throw it away.
Yeah.
If it's a banknote, it looks like a banknote, it feels like a banknote, you're never throwing that away.
Yeah.
So that souvenir that you've got, you're going to keep, you're going to treasure, you might frame, whatever.
Yeah.
So currently to be used in that way, going forward, it would be fantastic to see them as a proper exchangeable Fastex ftN currency.
That could potentially, I know this is not there yet, but potentially you go to a restaurant, you go to a grocery store, a bar, and spend your actual banknotes with ftN. Interesting. One thing I'm very curious about, Joe, is so much of the world these days is digital. People talk very abstract concepts. Oh, I'm using this API to this and this. You're going old school printing.
Yeah.
Like the actual like papers coming out of machines.
Yeah.
So silly question, but tell us, I imagine this looks a lot different than it did centuries ago. What are kind of some of the innovations in printing, and you mentioned there's security features on here, like counterfeit features. What are some of the recent innovations in the printing world, and what are some things you guys are doing as printers that ensures these notes are as high quality as possible and can't be counterfeited and so on?
Yeah. So thankfully, we have a we have a fantastic innovations team that look at what currently is being counterfeited. You know, within a note or within we're also a passport printer. So within the passport itself, what security features are actually being counterfeited and to what level. So then we can zero in into, right, well, this is what we need to focus on. We need to increase the, it could be the definition, it could be the process. We obviously can't go in too much detail because it will give the game away.
Tell us all your secrets, Joe.
So it's but all I can say is it is an ever evolving technology. I've been in the industry for 8-9 years now,
Yeah.
and seeing what we were able to produce 9 years ago versus what we're able to produce now is fantastic. And marrying the and it's not just in banknotes, but within passports, within visas, etc. Going through the physical and digital, so phygital features is really paramount to make sure that we are keeping one step ahead of the counterfeiters.
Are there any extra challenges involved with cryptocurrency and Web3? Right? You mentioned passports, traditional currency
Yeah.
has its own set of challenges, I'm sure. But we all know that often cryptocurrencies in the Web3 space can involve honeypots, and there's hackers. There's a lot of bad actors, right?
There are.
And so I know that in the non-banknote world, I know that it's kind of a arms race between like the black hats and white hats
Yes.
of cybersecurity. Is there, given that kind of arms race, does that bring you challenges you have to overcome of how to handle all the Web3 and cryptocurrency complexities?
The advancements in the technological side, the digital side of things, is bringing new challenges that obviously in the more traditional printing side we would never have seen before.
Right.
So, for example, AI.
I was just going to ask you about AI.
Exactly.
Yes.
AI is being used for both good and unfortunately for bad. I was at a conference very recently in Europe where the gentleman was giving a demonstration on how he was able to use very, very basic and free to download AI programs to trick and essentially produce a digital version of a driving license. And it wouldn't get away with if you were to present it to somebody at a border thing, for example. However, to create a bank account, sometimes all you need is to photocopy or to upload a copy of your driving license. That digital version of the driving license would be enough to probably fool some systems, which is why obviously slightly biased being a security printer, but having a physical document is always going to be needed to some extent.
Yeah, I was curious with this. Does the rise of AI in a kind of interesting throwback way make physical printing papers even more important again, right? Is it almost like a old school safeguard against AI doing stuff?
It is because unfortunately software can be counterfeited. It can be hacked. Obviously, so can physical documents. But to be able to try and do both and to fool both sets of systems at the same time in the same way, that's extremely difficult. So having that physical, let's talk about a passport, for example. How many times have you gone through, had a long flight, your phone's flat, you're getting to the border security and you hand over your passport, job done. If you only had a digital version of that on your phone, you're going to have a plane load of people trying to find a socket somewhere to plug your phone in to get your digital passport out. To have it to hand, great. Like a digital version of your boarding pass, fantastic. But as a backup, to know that you've got that physical thing in your pocket as well.
I'm a dinosaur. I still prefer printing out my boarding pass on flight. So
Exactly.
I sympathize completely with your mission here. All that said, it doesn't sound easy to pull off. It sounds quite complicated.
It is.
What are some of the biggest challenges you had to overcome and crack to make this happen?
So really, for this particular project, thankfully at the moment we haven't. So Fastex have been dealing with their partners on the digital side. On the physical side, we have been using our 350 years of banknote printing experience to produce the most.
Most people in the Web3 space, by the way, cannot quite claim 350 years of experience. So I respect that.
Not quite. We win in that regard. But no, it's just ensuring that we are producing the most physically beautiful, essentially, because banknotes can be beautiful. The artwork that goes in, working with their designers and our designers, has been a fantastic project. Coming up with.
Can you actually describe what they look like?
It's not my position to. I will allow Fastex to release it when they see fit.
I was hoping for a breaking news here.
Unfortunately,
I had to
can't do
give it
that.
the old college try.
I can't do that, but it does look fantastic, and it's got some of the most up to date and forward thinking security features embedded in it as well.
Amazing. So if you will, give us a sense of predictions for this kind of the merger of these banknotes and cryptocurrency. How do you think this might evolve in the future? How can it be used if let's say it gets broadly adopted? Let's say it really takes off. What are some ways that the world even can look a little different for the average person?
Well, I mean, with this first project, with it being a success, which I'm sure it will be, working with fantastic people, I know that they're going to drive it forward. With the success of this, it opens it up to all the other cryptocurrencies. I think there's around 2,000 cryptocurrencies around the world in varying sizes, and it could well just be another way of being able to physically hand over a banknote, but it's assigned just purely to a cryptocurrency.
And I have one more very dumb question I perhaps should have asked earlier, but I know it's not the case on day one. Does the plan that when I have my banknote that's like pegged basically to cryptocurrency, is the idea that my actual digital wallet will update simultaneously?
Correct. Yeah.
And so how is, describe, if you will, the tech to pull that off? How is it like? Is there something tracking? Like
so it would essentially with the unique number on the banknote, it would be the actual banknote will be minted through the online platform with a blockchain, and so each banknote will be minted to the cryptocurrency. So as they then get traded and used, it would. Thankfully, that's not our problem.
Right.
But it would be up to the software to then be able to track where that is going. So what is important with this, though, is that it helps to reduce the element of money laundering, because you're always going to have a clear traceability of who has had that banknote. It's been in this person's digital wallet, then this person's. So it will drastically reduce the risk of money laundering, because there's full traceability.
Interesting. It almost reminds me of, it's almost like you're doing NFTs, but printing out.
Yeah.
It's like there was an old joke years ago. Oh, like what is snail mail? People who didn't know what that is. Oh, it's like an email you print out.
Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah.
So you're printing out NFTs.
Yep.
I love that. Well, Joe, it's very cool. Congratulations on this. Best luck
Thank
you guys
you
going
very
forward.
much.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Thank you.